Hi everybody, I'm Eileen Rivera and I want to introduce you to my friend, successful published author Elana Arnold. Hi.
Nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, I'm so glad you're here. So Elana is a friend and meeting with a group of us this evening to discuss her latest book.
Infandus.
It's really interesting. This lovely lady has published many books. How many?
I have 5 published and one that'll be out in March of 2016 and a couple more in the works.
Is this the one that's coming out in
This
March?
is the one that's coming out in March. Far from here, from Host Mifflin Hardcore. Yeah, it just went out to reviewers, so we'll see what they think.
I may review it first.
There you go.
Tell everybody how long you've been writing books,
Oh,
how many
gosh.
books you've published, a little bit about your history.
Well, I've been a writer since I was a little girl living on Marshall Place, about a quarter of a mile from here, my whole life. My first attempt at publication was in the Press Telegram when I sent in a Halloween story to a Halloween contest. It was a very spooky story about a girl who wants to be a witch for Halloween and she gets these fake nails, but when she puts them on she can't take them off and they turn her demonic. And that never saw publication.
That was going to be my first question.
Right, no, it didn't win. I was disheartened, but I trudged on. And I am a product of the UC system. I went to UC Irvine where I studied comparative literature, and UC Davis where I studied English and creative writing for my master's degree. And then I took about a 10-year break from writing because sometimes graduate school will do that to you.
Did you actually take a break from writing, or did you take a break from trying to make writing your career?
Yeah, for several years I considered myself a reader and not a writer. I did not think I had it in me to finish a book-length work of fiction, and I decided I would just read for several years. Yeah.
What sparked the interest again? What was that moment that decided?
Yeah, it was a real estate related decision, actually. I can tell you honestly.
I had no idea.
No,
that was not a book.
This book is kind of about what happened. So you see the family in the RV here. So my husband and I were living in Santa Ana, California, and we had bought our dream home at the top of the market. And my husband had a very stressful job. And one day he came home, sort of wide-eyed and shell-shocked, and said he'd been laid off. And we decided that we could either look for another job that would be just as stressful as the first, or we could do something different. And so we sold our home at a ginormous loss. We were able to pay off the bank because we put all the money from our first home into the second home. So the bank got paid, but we lost everything, and we sold all of our possessions, and we moved our family and our pets into an ugly old RV, and we hit the road. And while we were traveling around in our RV, very much like this RV, I started writing for the first time in many years. I wrote a blog called People Do Things because that was my mantra. Why don't we do this? People do things. We can do this. And we did it. And I started to write again and started to think about myself as someone who could write a book-length piece of fiction. I didn't have any laundry to do anymore. I didn't have any house to take care of anymore. I didn't have a lawn or a garden to water. And so I could pour my creative energy into my work.
What year was that?
That was it had to be 2000 something. Let me think. 2008.
2008?
2008, I think it was.
And then when did you
The market was bad.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
2007, 2008.
Yeah. We bought, I think, in 2005 is when we bought the house. It was sold in 2008, 2009. So we lost all of our money.
This is not a real estate segment.
No, it's not. But
so many people are going to be able to relate.
It was awful, but it was really freeing because we didn't have a house anymore, and we didn't have stuff anymore, and we didn't have dishes to wash anymore. We had each other, and I had my creative energy. And so we traveled around, and we landed in Corvallis, Oregon, which is where this book, The Question of Miracles, actually is set, is in Corvallis, Oregon. And I got a job teaching at the university there, and my husband stayed home with the kids. And it sounded idyllic, but it was actually kind of awful because teaching composition is an awful, awful job. It's thankless and it pays very little and it makes you very, very exhausted. And I remember one day slogging across the campus carrying a stack of papers like this in the rain, thinking if I ever get the chance, ever again, I'm going to finish a novel.
That's phenomenal. So from that point to getting the great news that you were going to be published.
Well, I got really sick. In Corvallis, they thought I had MS, but I just couldn't see anymore. I couldn't grade my papers because my vision got all wonky. I was exhausted. I was dizzy all the time. I had funny brain scans that showed all these spots on my brains, and they said, we think you have MS, and so I had to quit my job, and my husband couldn't get a job in Corvallis, Oregon, because it's a little tiny town. And so we came home because obviously we needed to be around family, and we got here, and within 6 weeks I felt much better. Who knows why? I I think I'm a Californian.
Coming home, we'll do that sometimes.
It did, and I remember what I had said that day, that if I ever got a chance, I was going to finish a novel. And I got the idea. I was sitting with a friend of mine, Amy Antoine, helping her pack because she was moving away. And I said, I really need to finish a novel. And she said, you should write a young adult novel, because Twilight was all the rage. And I said, I want to write a young adult novel, but I want it to be about a strong feminist character, and I want it to be beautiful, and I want it to be awesome. And then I got the idea for Sacred, which was my first novel, actually. This is my novel, Sacred. And I wrote it in 11 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I wrote it in 11 weeks, and I found an agent almost right away, the wonderful, marvelous Ruben Pfeffer, who has the best name ever for an agent. And
tell us again what his name is.
His name is Ruben Pfeffer. Hi, Ruben Pfeffer. And I wrote Sacred, and it was the first time I tried to write something commercial. My whole life I felt like if it wasn't literary, it wasn't worth writing. And I freed myself of all of that, and I said, I'm just going to write a really good story. I'm going to write the story I have to tell. So I wrote this book. It's about a girl on Catalina Island who's suffering and meets a newcomer to the island who may be a Kabbalah mystic.
Oh my, we're going to leave it there.
I will.
We're going to leave it there and have you all wonder and get the books. Well, we have another engagement to be at, so we're going to wrap. Tell everybody where your books are available for purchase, websites, how they can follow you in this amazing journey you're on. Lead them to connecting.
All right, well, I am available to find on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at Elana K Arnold, ELANA K Arnold, all one word. And I'm also on Facebook, Elana K Arnold. And my website, magically enough, is www.elanakarnold.com. And my books are for sale wherever books are sold. Barnes & Noble, Amazon, a lot of wonderful independent bookstore that I really suggest you look at first. IndieBound sells my books. So yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
For taking the time to do this, for being here with us.
It's nice to be here in Long Beach talking about my Long Beach origins.
Thank you. All right, everybody, check her out, follow her, get the books, read them. I'll let you know how this one is. I'm gonna preview it. It's not gonna be available until March.
6 more months.
6 more months. Thanks, everybody. Bye.